कोई लड़की को देखे तो आपको 4 साल पहले ही खड़े हो जाते हैं कि कहाँ से है, कौन सी जाति से है, घरदार कैसे है, अमीर है, गरीब है। तो प्यार कहते हैं ना अंधा होता है, तो हमारे यहाँ तो प्यार दूरबीन लेके घूमता है, ये मुझे पता है।
In 2017, a little-known thriller titled Gurgaon had released in select theatres. A movie that went under the radar of the masses and absolutely shook people who witnessed the intense film set in Haryana. Director Shankar Ramen created a thankless and morally corrupt world to perfection, also showcasing phenomenal performances by actors like Akshay Oberoi and especially Pankaj Tripathi. You could clearly tell that a director like Shankar Ramen treads in dark and gory waters only a few dare to do in Hindi cinema. Due to the impression that he created with me with the 2017 film, I knew I would be up for a crazy oscillating ride when Love Hostel was announced. Boasting of a stellar cast in the form of Vikrant Massey and Sanya Malhotra, the film piqued my interest especially due to the inventive casting of Deol as a ruthless antagonist. The film set in Haryana focuses on a couple, Ashu and Jyoti, who have run away to get married as Jyoti's family disapproves of their union. Both individuals belong to different religions, find themselves in a safe house where other couples with the same problem reside. The matriarch of the family, the Dadi, cannot stand for such disrespect and appoints Dagar, played by Bobby Deol, a poker-faced assassin, to find the couple and bring them to her, as she has the sole intention of cutting her own blood into pieces with her bare hands. The cat and mouse chase that follows as Ashu and Jyoti run for their lives and Dagar is relentless in his pursuit only over the course of the film to reveal several motivations and relationships forms the basic storyline of Love Hostel. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it on ZEE5 or not. The underwhelming aspects. Convenient GTA open world and loose conclusion. You are basically entering a world that is similar to a Coen Brothers movie, and by that I mean that the gore and violence is apparent in almost every frame. This is presented with the distinct tone of dark comedy. Scenes that showcase some kind of joy or happiness are quickly followed by gore and violence, leading to a screenplay that barely lets you have a breather. The moment you have signed up for the ride and are invested, your pragmatic mind may get switched off as you are so invested in the cat and mouse chase. However, if you look from a more objective lens, you will think like this is an open world game where the killing doesn't stop and a character has put a cheat code on GTA so that his wanted level and stars never really increase. Gamers would know what I'm talking about. I understand that characters are protected because of the political influence, but the bloodshed along the way also requires some kind of attention from the forces. Beyond the pragmatic side of things, I think this movie is a lesson for many aspiring filmmakers on screenplay perfection, of how just to give enough, knowing exactly when to flesh out the details that dramatically change the dynamic of the film. However, the conclusion seemed half-baked to me. I have a lot to say about it but can't really expand on the same, but it is something that will divide audiences. The good. Straight to the point. I absolutely love the fact that this movie is 1 hour and 40 minutes long. There is no time wasting regarding this film. It sets into the madness from the word go, and the reason why I believe this is a brilliant example of how to design a screenplay is because Shankar Raman, despite not spending time on character development and world building, still manages to flesh out characters perfectly over the course of its running minutes. So much so that we can even understand their personalities and root or despise them. This film expands on themes and characters in this running time that most films can't do in 3 hours. This is one of those films that are not meant for a casual viewing experience, but a high adrenaline one that presents characters with their own backstories and motivations, and I can wholeheartedly say that I was hooked. Genre done right. This is a genre that is a tricky one, and what Love Hostel successfully does is not making it gimmicky or pretentious. Shankar Raman seems to have aced the badlands of Haryana as the characters and their interactions with one another seem rooted from the soil of the state. The basic goal of a thriller is through each development to reveal something new that changes the goal at hand or the relationships that one shares with the main characters, and Love Hostel guarantees you both. Oftentimes, when comedy is forced in the genre that is conventionally meant to be intense, it comes across as forced, but the writing in this film also seemed to guide the story along, not slowing it down due to unnecessary gags or subplots. Characters balance between mocking the main characters under the guise of humor but only have the intention to cause trauma, making you doubt the intentions of each character, a perfect problem to have as a viewer while watching a thriller. You just never know when someone is going to lose it and kill everyone in their way. Performances and inventive casting. The supporting cast lent great support to this film. Everyone from Raj Arjun as the presiding officer, Akshay Oberoi in a very interesting cameo, Siddharth Bharadwaj as the lecherous cop managing the safe house, all are absolutely splendid in this film. The two main leads, Sanya Malhotra and Vikrant Massey, have put forth stellar performances. Beyond their impeccable dialogue delivery, I really like the dynamic between both the characters that was written by Shankar Ramen. Ashu is pragmatic, reserved, and thinks 10 times before making a decision, whereas Jyoti is impulsive, emotional, and takes up challenges head on, never fearing what the repercussions may be. Both actors share great chemistry and a dynamic that makes for a ride that is extremely exhilarating. But I have to give it to the creators for the inventive and unique casting of Bobby Deol as Dagar, a poker-faced assassin causing mayhem in his way. I understand that the man has already done Ashram and he has played the stone-cold shady man previously, but Deol brings a sinister presence to this film like never seen before. I just love the current landscape of films and series where actors can truly reinvent themselves. It's such a breath of fresh air for actors that were bogged down by playing the prototype leading man now get to play such a variety of characters. Social themes. It blows my mind on how many themes the film explored without overwhelming the story at hand. Presented like an old school country western set in Haryana, the film explores the ramifications of children being subjected to such violence and bigotry from a young age and how it psychologically shapes them as adults. Gender roles that one thinks are the be-all and end-all with the way the world functions, the prosecution and internalized resentment that one has towards communities, the disgust with which one sees people loving freely and unabashedly, a sick problem that one can attest to regarding our country. The film painfully highlights the trauma one undergoes the moment that choices are curtailed, for reasons established from archaic notions of what communities represent. Loving freely in this world of love hostel is a myth, and the reason why Shankar Raman stands out with his craft is because the moment you think there is some reprieve, a glimpse of the light at the end of the tunnel, he snatches that glimmer of hope from you as well, taking you on a dark and gory path of violence that is surely worth your time on ZEE5. Give this man a budget and the commercial marketing that he deserves, the masses deserve to see it. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.